सुधागड एज्युकेशन सोसायटीचे पूर्व प्राथमिक, प्राथमिक, माध्यमिक व उच्च माध्यमिक विद्यालय कळंबोली मराठी
Hello students, last year we studied about linear momentum. Then we know that when any object is in motion and it is collide with another object, then this object produces certain impact. This impact is depends upon two factors: mass of the object and velocity of the object. Taking this fact into consideration, a physical quantity is introduced. It is called as the linear momentum. This linear momentum can be taken as a vector p equals to m into vector v. Means it is a product of mass and velocity. A notable thing is that here velocity is a vector quantity, mass is a scalar quantity, then linear momentum, because of velocity, it is a vector and its direction is in the direction of velocity, no doubt linear velocity. Then magnitudely it can be taken as p equals to m into v. Now, and you know that its SI unit is as per kilogram meter per second. Thereafter, if we find the rotational analogy of linear momentum, the physical quantity is introduced. It is called as the angular momentum. Angular momentum, or it is also called as a moment of linear momentum. How? Let us see. We know that force is a F. It is a force is a quantity in a translational motion. But when we take a rotational analogy of force, it is a moment of force, or you say torque. It is a vector r cross F. Similarly, we considered here a linear momentum. It is a vector p. So you can take here force, and it is a moment of linear moment of force or torque. Similarly, here a linear momentum and moment of linear momentum, or you say angular momentum, means it can be taken as vector r cross vector p. Note here, vector L equals to vector r cross vector p. What is the magnitude of this quantity then? Thereafter, we can take, in this case, vector r and vector p. When particle performs circular motion, notable thing, vector r and vector p are perpendicular to each other. How? Vector p depends upon the velocity, tangential velocity to the circle, and as velocity and r are perpendicular, then p and r are perpendicular to each other. Then how we can take the magnitude of the quantity? The magnitude of the quantity can be taken as L equals to P into R sin of theta. In circular motion, the angle between P and R is 90 degree. No doubt, a radius vector and tangential velocity. Mean angle between radius and tangent is 90 degree. That's why you can take here PR sin of 90, or you can take angular momentum or moment of linear momentum can be taken as P into R. Okay. Thereafter, what is it SI unit then? You can take its SI unit as kilogram meter per second. How? Let us see later on when we find the expression of it. Another thing is also there. Its direction is, in which direction it is there? It is perpendicular to both R and P, or R and V. Then in which direction? It is direction of angular speed. First, derive the expression for angular momentum of the object. expression for angular momentum. Look here, this figure is exactly same in the expression for kinetic energy. Same figure is taken from there. Same figure is there, same explanation is there. Up to this point, V1 up to. Okay, let us see how we can take it. A figure shows, simply you can take the expression with the help of this figure or explanation with the help of this figure. A figure shows a rigid object which can rotate about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the board. When you draw this figure in the notebook, then you say perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Okay? With uniform angular speed omega. Means when fan is in moving with constant speed, you can take this example. Again one time, a figure shows a rigid object which can rotate about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the paper with uniform angular speed omega. For theoretical simplification, let this object consist of n number of particles of masses m1, m2, m3 up to mn, and their perpendicular distances from axis of rotations are r1, r2, r3 up to rn. Then notable thing is that when this rigid object rotates, each particle performs uniform circular motion with constant angular speed omega. Each particle performs uniform angular speed omega, but performs UCM with uniform angular speed omega, but their linear speeds are different. Why their linear speeds are different? Because their radius of circles are different, and we know that linear speed is depends upon radius and omega. So their linear speeds are given as V1 equals to R1 omega for first particle, V2 equals to R2 omega up to Vn equals to Rn omega. Thereafter, consider a particle of mass m1. This particle is having a linear momentum P1 equals to m1 into V1. P1 equals to m1 into V1. But V1 is what? R1 omega. You substitute this value as m1 R1 omega. Okay? Then its angular momentum, or you say moment of linear momentum, can be taken as, you can take here L1, vector L1 equals to vector R1 cross vector P1, vector form. But what is its magnitude? You can take this L1 equals to R1 P1 sine of theta. And note that this particle is in circular motion. So R and P are perpendicular to each other. So sine theta is a 90. So sine 90 is the one. That's why you can take directly L1 equals to P1 into R1. But here P1 is P1 into R1. So P1 is what? M1 R1 omega. M1 R1 omega into R1 means you can take here M1 R1 square omega. Okay? Simply. This is a momentum, linear momentum, or you say angular momentum of a particle of mass m1. Similarly, you can calculate the angular momentums of other particles of masses m2, m3 up to mn are given as L2 equals to m2 r2 square omega, L3 equals to m3 r3 square omega, and up to Ln equals to mn rn square omega. Then these particles are having this angular momentums, and then question arises, what is the direction of this angular momentum of all particles? these directions of angular momentum of all particles in same direction. Same directions. Mean it is given by right hand rule. Means look here, when this body is rotating in this way, say anti-clockwise sense, like X, then hold axis of rotation is in your hand, 4 fingers are curl and stretched thumb is there. Then this curl finger denote the direction of angular momentum of all particles. Mean in the fan you can say all the particles are rotated in the same directions. You can note it. Then what happens there then? If we take the angular momentum of the rigid body or rigid object, how we can take it then? It is a algebraic sum of linear momentums, angular momentums of all particles. So you can take angular momentum of the object can be taken as L1 plus L2 plus up to Ln, or you say directly L equals to m1 r1 square omega plus m2 r2 square omega plus up to mn rn square omega. Now in this case omega is a common factor. Take common, then remaining term is what? Mn rn square m2 r2 square plus up to mn rn square omega. Then let us consider this quantity is I, and you can take here angular momentum equals to I into omega. Now note the thing, you know a linear momentum equals to m into v. It is a translational analogy. But when we take a rotational motion, L equals to I into omega. Notable thing is that angular velocity or angular speed is related with linear speed. Mean angular speed and linear speed are analogous. Angular momentum and linear momentum are analogous with each other. Then comparing this equation, it is clear that mass in translational motion is analogous with moment of inertia in rotational motion. And this is the physical significance of moment of inertia. Means mass is replaced by moment of inertia. Then how we can take the vector notation of it? This vector L can be taken as I into vector omega, because I is a tensor quantity. Then omega. Now the direction of angular speed, angular velocity and direction of angular momentum are same. Similarly here direction of linear momentum and direction of linear velocity is same. There this analogy is there. Direction of angular velocity and direction of angular speed are same. Then how we can take the SI in it? Notable thing, its moment of inertia, the SI unit is kilogram meter square. And here omega radian per second, you can directly take kilogram meter square per second. This is SI unit of angular momentum. And you can calculate the dimensions are also there. How we can take it? Dimensions m1 L2 t minus 1. And I think this is all about angular momentum. Thereafter, we are introduced another physical quantity. It is a torque which is acting on the rigid rotating body or rigid rotating object in next article. Expression for torque. Note the thing, in all three expressions, expression of kinetic energy, their figure and explanation up to V1, V2, V3, and explanation for angular momentum and figure are same. Only in kinetic energy expression changes later on half mv square up to for particles. Similarly here, but in torque, again figure is almost same, only different thing is there. Here we take a tangential forces, F1, F2, F3, up to Mn. Only this change is there. And another change is also there. Here instead of omega, we take here alpha. Note the thing, instead of omega, it is alpha. And here, F1 and F2, F3 up to Fn, tangential forces are shown. Another thing is there. Then which example we consider here? When fan is switched on, its speed goes on increasing, or you say it is an accelerated motion. Means some torque is acting on that fan, and because of this torque, it gets angular acceleration, or its speed goes on, angular speed goes on increasing continuously. Or another way we can say, when we switch off the fan, then there is a retardation. It is a retarding motion, acceleration or retardation. This example is there. Then how we can explain it? Again, same explanation is there. Certain things are changed there. Look the thing. Again, same statements are there. Figure shows a rigid object. Figure shows a rigid object which is rotating about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the board. You say perpendicular to the plane of the paper. In 3-dimensional case. And thereafter, another thing, again one time, figure shows a rigid object which is rotating about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the paper with uniform angular acceleration alpha. With uniform angular acceleration alpha. Note, in last two expressions we say with uniform angular speed omega. But here we considered this object is rotating with uniform angular acceleration alpha. Then why it rotates with uniform angular acceleration should be there? Because of some torque is acting on it. It should be mentioned there. In your book it is not mentioned. Now, again one time, consider a rigid object which is rotating about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the paper with uniform angular acceleration alpha due to torque tau. Now next, a theoretical simplification. Rigid object consists of n particles of masses m1, m2, m3 up to mn, and their perpendicular distances from axis of rotation are r1, r2, r3 up to rn respectively. Now, each particle revolves in a circle, not in UCM. In last section we say all particles are in UCM, but here it is the case of non-uniform circular motion. Mean each particle revolves in a circle with same angular acceleration alpha. There we say same angular speed omega, but here we say same angular acceleration alpha. But their linear accelerations or tangential accelerations are different. Which are them? This tangential acceleration can be taken as a1 equals to r1 alpha, a2 equals to r2 alpha, up to an equals to rn alpha, etc. Then these accelerations are different. Tangential acceleration. So this tangential force acting on the particles performing circular motion are also different. So their tangential forces experienced by the first particle according to Newton's second law. Acceleration is a1 and mass of the particle is m1. Then the magnitude of the force can be taken as f1 equals to m1a1. It is acting tangent to the circular path or circle, and a1 is nothing but the r1 alpha. So you can take here f1 equals to m1a1, or you say m1 r1 alpha. Then torque experienced by first particle. How we can take it, this torque? This torque, it is taken in the magnitude form. It is taken in the magnitude form. Notable thing is there. Then this torque is taken as, means you can take here in vector form also you can mention this torque equals to vector r1 cross vector f1. magnitude of this torque is, means vector r and vector f are in the same plane of the circular motion. And this torque is perpendicular to the plane of the circular motion. Mean all three are perpendicular to each other. That's why magnitude you can take here Rf sine of theta. But here theta is again 90. Why? Vector r along the radius and force tangent to the path. They are having angle between them is 90 degree. Just like that, this angle is 90 degree. And thereafter you can take Rf sine of 90. Rf sine of 90 means you can take directly R into F. This is the torque. Tau 1 for first particle we consider R1 F1, R1 F1, tau 1. So this torque acting on the first particle is F1 R1 equals to M1 R1 square alpha. Okay? Simply, thereafter, similarly, we can calculate the torques, or you say also moment of force acting on other particles. Tau 2 equals to M2 R2 square alpha. Tau 3 equals to M3 R3 square alpha. Tau n equals to Mn Rn square alpha, and so on. Then, these torques acting on each particle are in the same direction. And when this object revolves in the same plane, it is a case. When object is not revolving in the same plane, then these torques are in different directions. But when object revolves in the same plane, all the torques acting on the particles are also in the same plane and in the same direction. And it is shown by again right hand rule. Only when object revolve in a same plane, means fan is rotating uniformly. It is not moving in this way. Now, that means then what is the resultant torque acting on the rigid object? What is the resultant? It is a sum of torques acting on each particle. Then a torque, a resultant torque, magnitude of the resultant torque acting on the rigid object can be taken as tau equals to tau 1 plus tau 2 up to tau n. Means here you can take here M1 R1 square similarly for torques. And thereafter, which is equals to, substituting this torque acting on other particle also, M1 R1 square alpha plus M2 R2 square alpha up to Mn Rn square alpha, but alpha is common. Take outside it. And this quantity is taken as I. Means here torque equals to I into alpha. Again we go through. We know that a torque equals to I into alpha. Similarly, like as you know, force equal to magnitude of the force M into A, and this torque equals to I into alpha. Then if we compare them, linear acceleration analogous with angular acceleration, a force analogous with torque in rotational motion. So mass in linear motion analogous with moment of inertia in angular motion. So mass is replaced by moment of inertia in angular motion or rotational motion. So this is the physical significance of moment of inertia. Okay, very simple thing is there. Then thereafter we go through, look here how we can write this equation in vector notation. You can write down this vector notation as vector tau equals to I into I the tensor alpha. Mean direction of alpha and direction of torque are same. Okay, simple thing is there. Thereafter we go through, and direction of alpha is same to that of the angular speed. When this speed goes, angular velocity, when this velocity increases. But when this velocity retards, omega and alpha are in opposite direction. So omega and torque are also in opposite direction. Think about it. Okay. Then we see the two expressions, angular momentum and angular momentum and angular torque acting on the rigid rotating object. Thereafter, we go through another topic. It is the conservation of angular momentum. Do you know conservation of? Do you know conservation of linear momentum? If we consider the system of colliding body and no external forces, in absence of external force, unbalanced external force, its linear momentum of system of colliding bodies always remains constant. Means, or you can say for two bodies, when two bodies are collide with each other, their total momentum before collision is equal to their total momentum after collision. And we see certain examples of linear momentum in last year. Then we have to discuss the angular momentum. Then one question is there, that means the blades of the fan are short, then it moves fastly. And blades of the fans are wider, then it moves slowly. It moves slowly, even if their mass is same. Why it happens? Means small fans, their masses are same, but blades are small. It moves fastly, and that means blades are large. It moves slowly. Then we are talking about a conservation of angular moment. Let us see. Very interesting topic is there. So many examples you can take. That means girl is skipping. Then to increase the speed, what happens? He brings this string close to her body. But to decrease the speed, he brings this string away from the body. Why it happens? Okay? Then let us say, a simple law is there. We have to prove this. Angular momentum is constant. Constant means constant. Angular momentum is constant in absence of external unbalanced torque. In absence of external unbalanced torque. Mean no external unbalanced torque is acting on the body. Rigid rotating body, no doubt. No external torque is acting on the rigid rotating body. Its angular momentum is constant. Its angular momentum is constant. Means how we can take this law? You know L equals to I into omega. Once you can take I1 omega equals to I2 omega 2. Once you increase the moment of inertia, its angular speed decreases. Moment of inertia decreases, angular speed increases. But their product always remains constant. We have to prove it. How we can take it? Let us see. That means different methods are there for proving. In scalar format you can prove it. In vector format you can prove it. 2 or 3 types are there. You can refer anyway. All are gets a full credit. Then we refer the method which is given in your book. Let us say, angular momentum of the system is given by vector L equals to vector R cross vector P. Then differentiate it with respect to T. Then dl by dt equals to d by dt vector R cross vector P. Then we use product vectors. How we can use this product vector? Vector R cross dp by dt plus vector dr by dt cross P. We use product formula for derivation. Thereafter, but we know that dr by dt mean rate of change of displacement. It is nothing but the velocity. And dp by dt rate of change of momentum according to Newton's second law of motion. Rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to impressed force. Equality constant is 1, then directly you can take here dp by dt equals to f according to Newton's second law. Thereafter you can take here dl by dt can be taken as vector r cross f. Vector r cross f because of dp by dt is a f. And here m is a scalar, then you can take outside m v dr by dt is v And here vector P is mv, so m is taken outside, so v cross v. But we know that vector product of vector with itself is equal to 0. Why? Their angle between them is 0, and thereafter sine 90, sine 0 is 0, and that's all. Then 0. So you can take here dl by dt equals to vector r cross vector f. Okay, but we know that vector r cross vector f is a moment of force, or it is also called as a torque. So you can take here, this is a torque equals to dl by dt. But torque is, what is our condition? If no unbalanced torque is acting on the rigid rotating body, means this torque is 0. Then you can take here, when this torque is 0, then dl by dt, d vectorial, which is equal to 0, you can take here vector dl can be taken as 0 into dt, and taking integration of both sides, then integration of dl is vectorial and integration of 0 is a constant. So angular momentum is constant, henceforth. Simple? Simple thing is there. Again one time, we revise the statement. Angular momentum is conserved in absence of external unbalanced torque. Then I am taking certain examples on it. One example I am saying rotation of the fan. In rotation of the fan, what happens if we consider the blades of the fans are small, or length is small? Then what happens? Their moment of distribution of mass is close to axis of rotation. And as distribution is close to axis of rotation, then its speed goes on increasing for same power supply we use. But if we consider the blades of fan are wider, mass is same in both cases, then what happens? Distribution of mass is away from the axis of rotation. Then moment of inertia increases. No doubt angular speed decreases. That's why the fan which is having big length blades, then it moves slowly. Another example I am saying there, skipping. In skipping, when this girl brings string towards towards her body, what happens? Moment of inertia decreases, angular speed increases. And away from its body, moment of inertia increases, angular speed increases. Another example is also there. In your book, 2 examples are given. Ballet dancers are there, ice ballet. During the ice ballet, this ballet dancer takes a smaller, that means take the rounds of smaller radius and larger radius. When they take the round of smaller radius, they come close to each other, moment of inertia decreases. As moment of inertia decreases, no doubt, they move speedily. Mean their angular speed goes on increasing. Angular speed, and it appears more thrilling. But when they are moving away from each other and stretch their bodies, then moment of inertia increases, and no doubt their angular speed decreases, and it is necessary for preventing from the skipping. Okay? Another, so many games are there in sports, acrobats and another things are there, gymnastic. This athletes use the conservation of angular moment. Another example I am saying, in diving, it is the base game. When this diver jumps in the swimming tank, when he is standing on this diver, they stands on the boat, then they stretch their body as long as possible, like X. And as they stretch their bodies, their moment of inertia increases. But as soon as they lose the boat and jumps in the water, as soon as they release the boat, they hold their body. Means their moment of inertia decreases. And as moment of inertia decreases, no doubt their angular speed increases. And they take the more rotations up to water. And when they take the more rotation, it is seen more attractive. And because of this rotation, they get the points. And when water comes, then they stretch their body. They stretch their body in the streamline shape, so they can easily or smoothly goes in the water. See, This game is a very better game. My advice is there in YouTube, you see this game and how this principle is used by them. Another example is also there. Raw egg and boiled eggs are there. In boiled egg is there, you know, boiled egg is a solid egg. When it rotates, its moment of inertia remains constant. Why? There is no distribution of the speed of the distribution of mass is fixed. Distribution of mass is fixed. Angular speed is also fixed. But when we take a raw egg, in raw egg, there is a yellow portion which is heavy portion. When it rotates about the axis of rotation, then what happens? This, because of centrifugal force, this yellow portion or heavy particles inside the raw egg goes away from the axis of rotation. As these heavy particles go away from the axis of rotation, no doubt, what happens? Distribution increases, moment of inertia also increases. And moment of inertia increases means angular speed decreases. Angular speed decreases. Means when they are rotated with same speed at before, then raw egg comes, raised first, and thereafter boiled egg comes. This is the reason. You can get much more examples for angular momentum. I think you understand about angular momentum. See another examples for angular momentum. I think this is all about it. Today's lecture. Only last article is remaining in this very long chapter, rotational dynamics. It is a rolling motion or motion of the roll bodies. We discuss this article in next lecture. Thank you. That's all about it.